The following episode of Shower for the Soul contains language or subject matter that may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Even though it's 20-something years later, that tattoo is there to remind me of how far I've come. Welcome to Shower for the Soul. I'm your host, Shane Fame Alexander. This is where we swap stories on life struggles, triumphs, and victories. Grab a drink, find a cozy spot in the studio, and let's start sharing. Welcome back to another week of Shower for the Soul. I am your host, Shane Fame Alexander. How are ya? At the time of this recording, Halloween was last night, so I took it easy and watched wrestling. Crown Jewel was on in the afternoon, and then I stayed in and watched Thursday night lineup in the evening. With the colder weather coming in, I think I'm going to be staying in even more, if that's possible. No plans thus far for the weekend, but if anything changes, I will let you know, and I'm sure I'll post something on Instagram if I do end up trending out of the house. Follow the fun at SFTS Pod CST. This week we're talking tattoos, how they are important to your mental health recovery. But first, I'll let you in on why I got 2 of them. Now, if you want to see my tattoos, I have posted pictures of them both on my website at shanefame.com. Now, I was late to the tattoo game. I got my first tattoo in 2014 at the ripe, ready age of 35. The second tattoo I got 4 years later right here in London. While they lay on my forearms for different reasons, they have similar backgrounds. I'll explain. My eldest, the tattoo I got in 2014, is of headphones resting on top of a microphone. Here's why I got that first tattoo. Back in 2014, I hadn't done anything in the music business or broadcasting for nearly a decade. I've been shuffling around from call center gig to call center gig and just landed a job at an advertising firm, a startup that sold ad time to apps. I thought back to my days interning at radio stations and running shows and doing a bunch of music industry stuff. Those were some of the happiest years of my life. Think of the friendships I made, the memories I made, the things I learned. Those years made me who I am today. I took the teachings from radio and brought them to my call center work. But the life lessons I took during those years, I spent most of my teen years inside a radio booth. I was around larger-than-life radio characters that I later became friends with. They gave me some of the best life advice and were there for me during some really rough times. I wanted all of that encompassed into one tattoo. It was a way for me to mark those wonderful, passionate years of mental and professional growth. It was a way for me to remember the friends I made along the way and the work I did for two industries that will always be so close to me. I did some Googling and found a picture of a microphone and another picture of headphones. I liked them both, but thought just a microphone or just headphones would be too empty. It wouldn't feel complete. I then knew exactly what I was looking for. More digging and found the perfect design. I sent it over to a very close friend of mine, Jamie, whom did tattoos part-time. She was down with the design, and we did it. Now, as for placement, I wanted to be able to see it all the time. I wanted to be able to reference it when I felt down or needed some gusto. Further research found that the forearm wasn't a bad spot at all. Quick story. So I remember when Jamie was working on me and she was still doing the outline. I was on my Facebook app posting updates of the progress and also taking pictures. Jamie's then boyfriend walked by and asked me why I wasn't crying yet. I told him that it wasn't bad at all. It felt like a really bad and a long, annoying cat scratch. When he left the room, Jamie quipped, he's the one who cried when he got his first tattoo. When I got my second tattoo, I had already moved to London. I got inked for the second time on May 2nd, 2018. For that timing, it was pretty sudden. I was working that morning and was looking for tattoo shops in my area, and I guess the ink lined up really well as the artist I sent a message to earlier on had just got a cancellation and was able to fit me in. I was game. The design is pretty deep. Again, a picture of the tattoo is on my site at shanefame.com. While my teen years were some of the happiest, I still went through a lot. I spent a lot of time alone searching for answers. I had a lot of friends, but I was an inward kid. I like my alone time. I still am like that. I'm an introvert, I guess. I'm sure we'll cover that in a future episode. During my solo missions, I would walk to my local park. The park had a pond, and in the very back of the path, there was a bit of a hill. On top of that hill was a tree with another pond. Under the tree was a bench. I would sit under that tree on the bench and write letters. Some letters were just to myself, other letters were to friends or girlfriends. I wanted to get my thoughts out into the universe. While writing these letters, I would listen to a mixtape I made. This mixtape was very special. On one side of the tape was my depressing, sad songs I would listen to when I wanted to be in the dumps. The B-side were happier tunes that I would listen to when I was feeling better about myself and about life. I thought of getting a tattoo that signified the days I spent on the bench under the tree. One of the songs on the happier side of the mixtape was De La Soul's Tread Water. It was the first song on the second side, and to this day, the lyrics make me happy. If you're not familiar with the song from De La Soul's debut album, 3 Feet High and Rising, I'll post it on the site, along with the pictures of my tattoos. So this is how my tattoo with a leafless tree with the words Tread Water underneath came to be. I found that these tattoos were a part of the healing process of any attachment I still had to the stories of why I got them. For the first tattoo, it was a way of closure and acceptance that that part of my life was over. It was a way to accept the beginning of a new chapter. My second one is a bit heavier, as it represents what I was going through and my first drought of depression. Even though it was 20-something years later, that tattoo was there to remind me of how far I've come. And if I get into another huge drought like I did back then, that I'm able to overcome it. Coming up, I'll talk about how tattoos can be an important part of the mental health recovery. Before I started recording today, I did a quick search for tattoo podcasts. Found so many. There's one called Silver Tongue, another called Needle Depth Tattoo Podcast, and another that's called Fireside Tattoo. And I bet you all of these podcasts are available on Stitcher. Stitcher has all the podcasts, no matter the topic. Hell, you can even stream my show on there. This is why Stitcher is amazing. So amazing that I would like to give you your first month for free. Sign up at stitcher.com/premium and use promo code SHOWER4SOUL, all one word. That's Stitcher.com/premium and use promo code SHOWER4SOUL. Your first month is on me. So today I shared with you why I got my tattoos that lay wonderfully on my forearms. Mental health recovery tattoos, in fact, have become increasingly common as the stigma against mental health has slowly but surely started to fall away. Look at Demi Lovato. She has the words "stay and strong" tattooed on her wrists. And she's not the only one. On Instagram, try searching the hashtag mental health tattoos. You will find common designs like heartbeats and phrases that inspire people. For example, my tread water tattoo. Experts do say that getting a tattoo can be a helpful part of a person's healing process, allowing them to view parts of themselves on their mental health history in a different light. For me, at least, this is true. My struggle will never be over, but I wanted a way to remember how much things have changed. I won't say that my tattoos saved my life. Yet. I mean, since getting my tree tat with tread water written underneath, I haven't really been that bad. I haven't had a huge drought of depression where I found myself thinking crazy thoughts. I'm sure there will be a time when I get down and those thoughts return. I'm certain that the tattoo will be there for me. What that tattoo does for me, though, on a daily basis, however, is to remind me to keep pushing forward. It's an everyday struggle. And every step we take is one step away from the darker days. I'll be getting more tattoos, and I know that for sure. I already have ideas of at least 2 more. They will represent another chapter of the Book of Shane, and they will too somehow remind me to keep on keeping on. Every tattoo tells a story that's true to you. No one else needs to know the story. All they need to know is that you're present and that you've survived. If you're not thinking of getting a tattoo for a while, why not help out the show? Let me tell you what I'm doing with Patreon. $3 of your monthly contribution will go towards a charity of your choosing. If you want to just support the show with a monthly contribution of $1, $2, or $3, you could do that also. It's all up to you. For every tier, we're giving something back to you. Like ad-free episodes, a Skype chat with me, and other fun stuff. Learn more at patreon.com/showerforthesoul. That's patreon.com/showerforthesoul. Next week, we're talking about friendships, the toxic friends and the good friends. How do we spot the bad friendships, those friends that don't uplift you? How do we cut them off? Also, we want to celebrate the BFFs. If you want to say anything about this topic, just send me a note. I'll share my contact information with you in just 1 second. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me this week. Shows are up every Wednesday afternoon at noon Eastern Standard Time. If you have a friend you would like to save a seat for at the studio, let them know so they can join us then. If you're looking for anything that was mentioned on this episode, swing by the website for links and articles. The website is shanefame.com. On social, my handles for Instagram and Twitter is SFTSPodCST. That's at SFTSPodCST. If you have any show ideas or comments, please send me a love note at hostshane@gmail.com. That's hostshane@gmail.com. We're on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and Stitcher. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be chatting soon. Take care. I like that one. Shower for the Soul is written and produced by Shane Fame Alexander.